Hi, I'm Levi Schloff, the principal at Technos Services Inc. Tech projects fail for simple reasons. And today we're going to talk about one that's the most common project delay. So what is the most common project delay? Well, it's not starting in a timely manner. Anybody who has worked in technology for any length of time is familiar with this problem. A lost day is a lost day, whether it's at the beginning of the project or at the end of the project. But often with that long period ahead of us and that sense of optimism, the urgency is not present at the beginning. Lost time costs you time in the market, which costs you money. And when you start late, end of project panic can also cost you money because you change your focus from getting it out the door any way possible instead of what is the most resource efficient way of doing stuff. And so also you can run into quality issues. So it really helps to start your projects on time. So what are some of the causes of late starts? Well, here's a few. There's too many unknowns. We don't know where to begin because there's a bunch of stuff we don't know. The staffing is not yet available, which is often true. But you don't usually start with a big team, you start with a small team. And the budget is not firm, and of course that is often the case because you have to do a little bit of investigation before you really have a feel for what the whole project is going to cost and how long it's going to take. But you need to get started. These are all good reasons, but I think the real reason is not the good reasons. The real reason is our old friend, procrastination. What are the causes of procrastination? There's 4 of them that have been found, and this is done in a scientific study that I can forward you information on if you're interested. The first one is how confident a person is in completing a particular task successfully. So if it's something new or a little bit daunting, people tend to push it off. How easily you're distracted, not just as a person, but in your environment. So are there other things that are pulling you away from the project that you should be starting because they're also urgent, although they may not be as important in the long term? How boring or unpleasant a task is, and how immediate the reward for completion is. So if the reward is a long ways off, like better health, it's hard for smokers to quit. First they're addicted, but the reward is not obvious today. Today there's only pain. The reward is way off in the future sometime. Things like that lend themselves to procrastination. If we think about the beginning of a project, the reward is a long ways off. So clearly number 4 applies for most any project. Now factors 1, 2, and 4 can interact if personnel are coming off of one project and onto another. Cleanup duties from the previous project are easy to justify as distractions, and of course many of them have to be done. We all know the old saying about, the job's not done until the paperwork's done. But there are often other little tidy things that one likes to do, to polishing the apple. Just one more design change to fix a low priority bug, and then I'll get right on it. Your confidence level is high for cleaning up your old stuff because you kind of know how it works. The reward is basically immediate. So those things can play together. Boredom, factor number 3, is rarely a problem in technology. I don't know anybody who's bored in technology. But there is one unpleasant task that often stalls out, and that is the specification completion. If you're running a software-only project and you're using Agile as you discover what features and problems you need to solve, you're not so much going to have problems with spec completion. But if you're doing hardware or chips, those kinds of things, then you have to have a tight specification. Now, 2 common items that slow specification and completion are issues of turning features, fuzzy features or even well-defined features, into specs that designers can use. Specifications are either functional in nature, in which case you can say it must work this way, and those are often not so bad. But if there's a performance issue, it needs to be fast to the user's perspective. Well, you have to turn that into a number. which is less than something. And that sometimes is a little bit difficult. And it's particularly difficult for people who may not have experience in taking fuzzy features and turning them into hard specifications. And the other one is fear of making mistakes or omissions, either by the writers of the specification or the reviewers of the specification. Sometimes people, they don't want to sign off on something until they actually know it's going to work, so that's good, but you can get caught in a little bit of that paralysis by analysis as well. If you want to get your projects up and running in a timely manner, you do need to be cognizant of the issues of procrastination. Now, another thing you might want to consider at the beginning is bringing in a consultant to get the ball rolling. If you're having trouble getting that fuzzy front end closed off, this is not a bad place to bring somebody in. A consultant, if they've done it before, will be confident in completing the fuzzy front end tasks. They'll be undistracted by your other company activities, so that helps on the procrastination front. And consultants don't find the spec details all that unpleasant. It's a lot of what they deal with. Making a recommendation or a decision on something that's a little bit fuzzy or hard is an area where they can do well. And they'll enjoy the near-term reward because their reward is getting the team launched in the project line. So that's our talk for today. So just be aware of the causes of procrastination and know when you're seeing them, and possibly you will see them at the beginning of your projects, because people are never quite in that same hurry at the beginning as they are at the end. And if you need help in any of this, please give me a call. My number is there. You can also email me and visit our webpage. Thank you very much.